Day 11.
Day 12.
Day 12?
Day 12.
Okay. Well, here we are. We just hiked up a couple miles up a hill, up 4,000 feet, and Terry and dogs are having a break. Want to tell us about your experience the last 24 hours with methylene blue on board?
Day 12, at this point, the changes are very subtle and it's difficult to measure. We're looking at a system where we can have a measurement so we can see the progress. Day to day is minimal. Week to week is probably measurable. Good days and bad days with rheumatoid arthritis is very typical. You have days you feel good and days that you don't feel as good. Today I'm really sensitive with my wrist. There's nothing I did yesterday to aggravate my wrist, but the arthritis, for whatever reason, has settled in both wrists. My knees, which are in my normal struggle in hiking, are fine today. So it is a confusing sometimes, good days, bad days. But I think I'm moving forward to better days.
And you were in the car for about 4 hours yesterday, too. How did that affect you?
Extended sitting in a car, even watching TV sitting, I have a tendency to stiffen up, especially if I've exercised prior to sitting. You take a long walk, you come back, you sit. When you sit down, your muscles seem to want to tighten up. You become more aware of it.
And then you did the same dose yesterday as the day before. So 2 times 15 drops.
Right. I'm staying pretty much constant on that particular intake.
Okay, and we had learned that the half-life of methylene blue is 5 to 6 hours. Were your two doses 5 to 6 hours apart?
They were about 6, 7 hours apart. However, there's 24 hours in a day, so I'm not sure if not taking it consistently throughout the day, if that is a benefit or if that is not necessarily important.
Yeah, I kind of wonder because there's no real information about whether or not we should be using it every 6 hours, which means taking it before bed as well, or taking it in the evening, you know. So during the course of the first 2 weeks on methylene blue, we were pretty consistently taking 2 times a day. But maybe as we start into week 3, it might be helpful to try a 3 times a day dose or even a 3 times 20. As I recall, the first day you started out at 50 drops, and then we saw a video talking about starting slowly. So the information out there is kind of sketchy. It leaves a lot of room for experimentation, and that's why we're doing this. We're having this video so that we can look at different things that we've tried and share that with people and keep a record of it ourselves. So what do you think is the direction you want to go as we start into week 2?
As I start to week 3, yes.
Yeah.
Going to week 3, I think I'd like to maybe go on a 3 times a day, see if I can keep all my waking hours within my system. Uh, I don't know if the surge of taking it and then basically expiring it and then taking it again, if that back and forth is better than constant. Most medications, when you take pain medications, people have a tendency to want to line them up so that when their 4 or 5 hour treatment's over, they immediately replace the medication that's expired. I'm not sure how methane blue works, whether we should not worry about the fact that we have hours without any methane blue in our system or very minimal. However, I have blue urine all day long. It never clears. So I do have methane blue in my system most of the day. So maybe this 5 or 6 hour half life might be a little more conservative. It might be adequate. Maybe 3 times a day would keep my system with the methane blue in my system. We'll see.
Yeah, and then we heard a YouTube also that mentioned that if you're not seeing blue urine some of the time, that maybe your body is taking up more of the methylene blue because it's taking it to areas that need it more. It's just not that clear yet, and that's why these subjective individual studies, qualitative research is what we've got. We don't have a lot of quantitative research about it.
Well, it's not a product that makes money for a pharmaceutical company, so there's not a lot of studies. It's more like us, people talking about their experience. we haven't got any big grants where people do detailed studies of the effect and the possible need for the treatment size. Those things are not really clear. And so we're hoping we can find some center ground to give people a hint. So if you're starting, you might get an idea of where to start, and you might know what to expect.
Okay, so future directions for the week 3 include changing dose, making a measurement instrument, and that would ask the same questions every week that you could answer and make a comparison, and continuing to do more research on our own. All right, see you tomorrow.
Thanks. See you then.